Hello everyone and welcome back to Code Realize. We're going to be going down Impey's route now for the after stories of Future Blessing. I tried to record this last night and after an hour when I went to edit it I had my big tower fan on behind me and noise suppression did not do anything to cut that out. Every time I talked it had a very annoying buzz to my voice, and I mean it might have been okay for some people, but if you have headphones on and you listen to it like I do too, and I couldn't stand to edit it so it's not a big deal anyway, just because I have already read this, so there's not going to be too much surprise element here for me. Like, I know what happens in Impey's route, but I don't know all the in-between parts. Like, I remember most of the CGs, or at least the really sweet ones. But other than that, yeah. Which is the important thing, right?
月へ行きたい。夜空に煌々と輝く光の宝石。世界中の人が見上げて思いを馳せるあのまばゆい月に。子供の頃、俺はじいさんと二人でこの夢を追いかけた。何度も試行錯誤して何度も空に砲弾をぶっ放して、いつかはこの手が月に届くって信じながら実験を繰り返した。じいさんは夢の半ばで先に行っちまったけど、あの頃追いかけた夢は今だってちっとも色あせちゃいない。そう、俺は今もじいさんと二人で描いた夢を追いかけてる。このでっかい夢と同じぐらい大切な世界一かわいいお姫様と一緒に。そしていつか月に降り立つ男、インピー・バービケーン。現在全力で彼女募集中。よろしく。セリフの後半は残念なことに華麗にスルーされちゃったけど、でも初対面でこう名乗った俺をあの子はバカにしたりしなかった。これってさ、実は結構すごいことだと思うんだ。月に行くなんて言ったら笑い飛ばされるのが普通なのに、だからこそ俺は初めて出会ったその日からあの子に惹かれ始めてたのかもしれない。でその思いが確信に変わったのはきっとあの時。ノーチラスから飛び降りた時、あの子はそう言って泣いたんだ。自分は人じゃない。人の手で作られた呪われた怪物。命なんてない。ただの人形なんだって。でも俺はあの子が呪われた怪物だなんてこれっぽっちも思えなかった。だってさ、よーく考えてみてよ。俺とあの子が出会ったこと、俺があの子を抱きしめられること、 俺たちが巡り会えたことは呪いどころか奇跡ってくらい超ハッピーなことなんだから。科学は人を傷つけるんじゃなく、人を笑顔にするためのものだったら、当然科学の結晶であるカルディアちゃんはいつも笑顔じゃないとね。俺はいずれそんなあの子の笑顔とともに月に行く。だからじいさん、月の上でちゃんと待ってろよ。とびっきり美人な俺の嫁さん連れてってやるからさ。
Impey can be a hopeless romantic too whenever he's being honest with himself. He's really sweet. Wait, Cece, don't dash on ahead of me. You'll just tire yourself out scampering around like that. Let's have a nice leisurely walk, alright? Boy. Cece sidles up to my feet and I give him a good-natured rub on the back. The sun hangs high above my head, drenching London in the light of morning. Cece and I stroll through Midtown without a care in the world. It looks like things around here are getting more or less back to normal. To think that so much of this was rubble not just 6 months ago. The assault on the city by the battleship Nautilus brought London within a hair's breadth of total devastation. The bombs that fell on Midtown that awful day destroyed countless buildings. Yet just 1 year after the attack, reconstruction had advanced apace. The rubble and debris had been cleared, and new buildings had begun to rise. At last the citizen streak is smiling again. The devastating scars inflicted on London are gradually fading. What does he growl at? Cece's bark pulls me out of my reminiscence and back to reality. He looks at me expectantly as if wanting to tell me something. What is it, Cece?
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah? Schultz.
出会い頭番犬にこうも嫌われるとは。さすがはルパン。泥棒の鏡だね。
Now that's a pair you don't see walking around the street every day.
何言ってんだ。今のはどう見たっててめえに向かって吠えてただろうが。
Lupin and Sholmes.
よ、ご機嫌うるわしゅう。花のように可憐な我らが姫君。
久しぶりだね、カルディア君。元気そうで何よりだ。
I haven't seen either of them since last month. It had been the day Impey and I launched our first rocket, our first mutual step towards the moon. So I remember quite clearly, almost 1 month to the day. The gentlemanly odd pair bowed elegantly as if commemorating the reunion.
しかし、ルパン、仮にもお相手のいる女性を口説くのはいかがなものかと思うがね。
Don't worry about him, that's just how he is.
はっ、こんなんただの挨拶だろ。別に本気で口説いてるわけじゃねえし。
Oh no, we all know how he is with words.
つまり遊びで口説いていると。いやいや、ひどい男もいたものだね。
ははは、よーしわかった。俺は今からお前を殴るからな。
I've gradually become used to this, but a part of me still finds it bizarre to see Lupin and Sholmes behaving admissibly. Sholmes teasing Lupin and Lupin snapping back. That part hasn't changed since all of us first met more than a year ago. But now their exchanges feel less like arch enemies and more like brotherly squabbling. Even though they couldn't be more different.
お、なんか言ったか？
Why is that the only part you say aloud? Not a word. Shake my head no with little too hastily and cover it with a question. I did hear the two of you have been working together recently. Are you working today? Coming back from somewhere maybe?
ああ、黄昏の件で進展があってね。ヤードに顔を出してきたところさ。
俺にとっちゃ居心地が悪いってもんじゃなかったけどな。
Lupus shrugs, looking serious.
お前もあのノーチラスのことはまだ記憶に新しいと思うが。
They are. How could I ever forget? Nautilus, a gigantic floating battleship. I almost said fortress. Born from the twisted mind of the brilliant scientist Nemo and brought down by Impey, right into the Thames. Even a year on, the issue of pulling the Nautilus out of the river remains a massive civil engineering problem. Half of the giant wreck is still beneath the waterline. It's even become a tourist attraction of sorts, or perhaps a monument.
あの金銭感覚皆無の変態科学者がどっからあんなデカブツを建造する資金を集めたのか疑問に思ってたんだが、どうもそこに黄昏が一枚噛んでたらしい。
You mean Twilight had been funding Nemo all along?
その通り。隠れミノの財団を通じてね。そこで私とルパンは資金の流れを追って黄昏の本拠地がセントポール大聖堂の地下にあると突き止めたのだが、
時すでに遅しってな。たどり着いた時もうそこはぶっ潰れた後だった。お前も聞いてねえか？先週のセントポール大聖堂の倒壊事件。
Yes, I read about it in the news. The cathedral collapsed in the middle of the night. There was quite a to-do. That's what the broadsheets said, at least. Some of them speculated that it was simply the age of the structure. Others opined that it was some sort of terrorist attack. None of the newspapers could seem to agree with each other. Hold on, are you suggesting Twilight blew up their own headquarters to hide evidence?
さてどうだろう。無論奴らが自爆したという可能性もありえないわけではないが、現地では剣で切り伏せられたと思わしき黄昏兵の遺体も発見されている。それに大聖堂を丸々崩落させるのは裏で活躍する諜報組織にしてはいささか派手すぎる行動だと思うがね。
If Sholmes is right, who would benefit from eradicating Twilight's headquarters? The affair may have tied up loose ends as far as Twilight is concerned, but I can't help feeling uneasy about it. Lupin picks up the thread, speaking through gritted teeth. Perhaps he has the same misgivings I do.
まあもう少し裏を当たってはみるが、これで黄昏とは一応の決着ってことになるわけだ。自分の手で解決したわけじゃねえのがちっとばかし心残りではあるけどな。
おや、何を終わったような顔をしているのかな、ルパン。
Oh yeah?
黄昏の調査に協力する代わり、その後で私を手伝うという約束だったはずだが。
But you need Lupin to do that. You would hire him to work with you.
あはそんな話もあったっけか。
私は君を高く買っているからね。馬車馬のように働いてもらうよ。
No, Lupin never comes cheap.
へいへいはあったよ。どうせしばらくはやることもなくて暇になるからな。
Lupin says this with another shrug, and Sholmes laughs like he's used to it. I know Lupin would never dare admit it, but I have a feeling these two will make a great team.
ところでカルディア君、
Yes?
久々に会ったのだからぜひ君のことも聞かせてほしいね。
お、そういやそうだ。インピーのやつに変なことされてねえか？
Not anything more than what you've done in your route.
彼の素行調査が必要であれば探偵として相談に乗らなくもないよ。
You say that, but Lupin's the thief, and he's just an engineer. Thanks, but I'm fine. Impey is never less than kind, right, Cece? It's true. The poison that courses through my body hasn't completely disappeared, but I can say one thing with pride. I am truly, truly happy now. We continue to chat about this and that, asking after one another. When the afternoon sun reaches its zenith, I take my leave, walking home with Cece. After a relaxing walk amongst stately, shady trees, a magnificent residence comes into view. It is the mansion of Count Saint-Germain, where Lupin and his gang spent so much time with us. In Helsing and Delhi, Victor, Saint-Germain, and Lupin. Though we lived communally at first, all have moved on, following their own paths. Even so, this place remains one of great import to us, full of wonderful memories. Impey and I have been transferred ownership of the property, and we watch over it so that our friends may return anytime. In any case, I have no plans to return to my house in Wales at the moment. This is my home now. Our home. The most precious person in the world to me awaits inside. Impey, I'm home. The moment I step through the doors, my appetite is stirred by delicious aromas that waft through the house. DC immediately breaks into a trot, and I follow him into the dining room, where I find Impey humming to himself as he lines dishes up on the table.
おかえり、マイハニー。ちょっと悪いけど、もうちょっとだけ待っててね。今、インピーさんの愛情が溢れに溢れまくったスペシャルランチが出来上がるとこだから。
Naturally, this makes me look at what's on the table. Perfectly crisp toast layered with melted cheese, tomato soup that looks as if it could warm the soul, salad brimming with garden fresh coloration. And is that supposed to be us? I couldn't take my eyes off the pair of steaming cups. Lines of milk had been layered on the surface of a fragrant espresso, forming images that look just like our faces.
そうそう、ラテアートってやつ。
It's impressive that he can make faces, let alone faces that she would recognize.
やっぱ一流の料理人としては味だけじゃなく見た目でも人を楽しませなきゃってね。
It's amazing. I always knew you were a genius when it comes to cooking, Impey.
ちっちっち、そこは料理に関してもって言ってくれないと。ま、技師として天才なのは当然として、色恋沙汰についても一流の。
Oh, your latte face art is getting all melty, but only yours.
絶世の美男子ラテがいつの間にか変顔ラテに。
I purposefully neglect to mention that his art would have been destroyed when we drink it, but being very particular about such things, Impey starts pouring in condensed milk in an attempt to repair it.
これでよし。改めておかえり、マイハニー。
Yes, Impey, I'm home. As we smile at one another, I notice there are dark circles under his eyes. Impey, were you up all night again working? I suppose he's used to the question by now. It doesn't seem to concern him much, but he doesn't offer any excuse. He simply laughs it off, telling me not to worry.
昨日は研究がすごくはかどったからさ、ついつい寝るのがもったいなくて。
Research, meaning... Do you mean the project you're working on with Victor? Though never stopping work on his ship to the moon, Impey had been doing some other sort of research lately. I remember that day. 2 moons appeared in the night sky, and from the very next morning he'd been working non-stop. He told me that understanding it was somehow essential to reach the moon, but I don't know what they're actually doing except that it's top priority issue. Of course, both Impey and Victor are very busy with many other things to consider. That's why they formed a duo, meeting up for discussion, exchanging notes and letters. Their passion was obvious since they poured any free time they could scrounge up into their work. I know going to the moon is important, but I worry about your health, Impey. You'll make yourself sick if you push too hard, and I know you'd regret it. As I tell Impey the honest truth, he seems on the verge of tearing up with emotion.
ありがとう。こんなに優しい奥さんをもらって、俺は死ぬほど幸せ者だよ。
That's not really tearing up. He has a big smile on his face, and it sounds fake. But wife, I mean, you'd better not die. Even I'd get mad at that.
そんな反応かわいい。かわいすぎる。君の笑顔さえあれば、俺は100人力だよ。よし。それじゃあ、お昼ご飯を食べる前に、まずは愛する君のことを一口。
Ah. No, Cece, you mustn't bite. No, don't drag him. If you get his work clothes dirty, I'll have to wash them again.
カルディアちゃんってば、心配するとこずれてる。
Some 5 minutes later, Cece strides out of the dining room with his head held high, looking pleased with a job well done. All that remains of the sad scene is Impey spasming on the floor with bite marks all over his skin. Are you alright, Impey?
平気。インピーさんは頑丈さが売りですから。
I know that resilient vampire body. He hops up as to prove this, then shakes his head and lets out a sigh.
やれ。シシってば、俺が君に愛を囁いた時に限って飛びかかってくるんだから。
Because you're not allowed to declare your love erratically. It has to be calm, collected, and felt from the heart. Anytime you're in your joking mood is when people interfere with you. MP wears a smile that hasn't changed since the day we met. His bright demeanor, his vitality. Just being together makes me smile too. A full year may have passed, but he's the same MP. You haven't changed a bit since we first met.
それひょっとしてまるで成長してない的な？
No, I'm not saying that. Think back to when we met and when you learned the truth about me. You didn't think less of me or fear me. Your attitude was the same as always. You still dream of the moon, even after our friend's creation were used for evil and you saw how dangerous science can be. You're still you, and I think you always will be. I think I've come to love that about you. Yes, your shy blushes are a lot more cuter than your erratic ones. What's wrong? Your face has gone all red.
ああ、ほら、不意打ちっていうかさ、こんな真正面から言われると思わなくて。愛してる。もう私を好きにして。なんて言われちゃったら、そりゃ照れるっしょ。いや、参ったな。
I'm fairly certain I didn't say that. Is this just how a genius engineer's brain works? I try to laugh it off, but Impey turns to look me in the eye.
でもカルディアちゃん、さっきの言葉、すっごく嬉しかったけど、一つだけ間違ってるよ。
His love for you has changed. Mistaken?
そう。俺が君へ向けてる好意。それは昔と同じなんかじゃない。だって初めて会った時より今の方がずっとはるかに君のこと大好きなんだから。
It was my turn to blush. I could tell when Impey's just fooling about, but now he gazes into my eyes with a deep fondness. Yeah, see, this is when you're allowed to declare your love for her, when you're not fooling about. And I can see he only has eyes for me. Suddenly I feel hot and flustered and my words catch in my throat. Now that he's put voice to the thought, I realize that I've changed as well. Whenever Impey expresses affection before, I was able to laugh and wave it away. He's the same man saying the same thing, so why does my heart beat so fast? I do too. That is, I care for you so much more than when we met.
カルディアちゃん。
Impey wraps his arm around my back. He is soft and gentle, as if handling something fragile. Slowly he brings his face closer, close enough to notice the pink spots high on his cheek. But Impey, you can't. Our bangs are touching by the time I push him back by the shoulder and lower my face. We can't. I keep my eyes on the floor and concentrate on keeping my trembling, hungry lips pressed together. I remember how I felt that day, the words he spoke that day. Remember every detail.
わかった。言葉はもういらない。
No words, just kiss. I said that not too long ago in Ryuki's route too. the men of few words who just put words into action. I like those types of men. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like how Lupin talks and stuff too, but still. I could almost feel his soft, smiling lips. The warmth I felt from him, the sensation when our lips came together. It was a sweet feeling, yet somehow mad. I felt almost paralyzed. That we were able to share that kiss was a single one-time miracle. The poison of the horologium remains in my body, ever-present proof of my curse. So we can't. I'm sorry, Impey.
謝る必要なんてないよ。
I know it's been so long, they're probably just dying to kiss each other again. He regards me sweetly, taking my gloved hand in his.
おいで。カルディアちゃん。
Time stopped in that moment. Before my mind had half a chance to make sense of what was happening, a tiny sigh of surprise escapes my throat. His beautiful face is so close, and I can even feel a faint warmth through my glove. Yeah, his beautiful face, alright. His hair is so red and pretty. The feel of his lips against the finger that separates us is maddening.
今はこれが限界だけど。大丈夫。信じて。必ず何とかしてみせるから。
Impey's smile is kind and genuine. How can he be so calm at this distance, centimeters away from brushing against my toxic skin? My beloved is smiling so close. Being unable to touch him is crushingly difficult and painful. I don't know how long I can wait.
それは俺も一緒だよ。本当はさ、俺だってもっといろんなことをしてあげたい。この手で君の頬に触れることも、唇を重ねるキスも、その先も。
My boyfriend said that to me, my heart would be beating so fast. Especially if I've only kissed him once.
だからすごく残念だけど、今はこれで我慢して。
Impey. He bites down on my finger ever so gently and slowly backs away. The mere notion that our lips were that close and now separate brings about a profound sadness. I know at least that our hearts are connected. The lingering sweetness of his presence tells me as much, but just as I'm about to turn away...
いや、待てよ。
I couldn't imagine why, but Impey seems to be reconsidering something. He reaches out and pulls me close again. Impey?
ほんの一瞬。
Huh?
ほんの一瞬のキスならいけるかも。いや、いける。ほら、俺たちの愛が起こす奇跡とか、なんかそんな感じで。
The This isn't even close to level-headed reasoning, even for Impey, yet he brings his face close to mine once again. It's just too dangerous, Impey. Try to calm down, think rationally.
俺は冷静テストもしかし科学の発展には実験がつきものというわけでさあレッツキス
What did he even mean by bear with me just a moment ago?
あれ
Impey notices something behind me and cranes his neck to see what it is. Propped up in the corner of the room.
そこにあるのって銃だよねなんでこんな場所に銃が
For that, Van Helsing left it here the last time he came by. If Impey attacks you, don't hesitate. Aim for the heart, he says.
危な何言ってくれちゃってんのあのショットガンメガネは
Oh, also Victor gave me some powerful tranquilizers and a paralyzing agent.
フランも共同研究で培った俺との絆は何だったの
Saint-Germain built an emergency exit into my room, and Lupin gave me the address of his last-ditch hideout.
びっくりするくらい俺の信用がない
Sorry, Impey, you're just the comic relief of this.
カルディアちゃんは俺のことを信じてくれてるよね
Maybe if you didn't try to kiss me just now.
好感度が目に見えて下がっていく
I love it when he says things so loud and obnoxiously you can hear his voice just trail off at the very end. I bet the voice actor had a really fun time playing him. Seeing Impey burst into tears, I can't help but let out an embarrassed laugh. The awful, tight feeling in my chest and the terrible sense of sadness seemed to have vanished for the moment too. I suppose his reaction was classic vintage Impey, but now that I think about it, this may have been for the best. I don't know whether or not he does this consciously, but whenever I'm weighed down by sadness, my heart full of grief, Impey is always there to make me feel better. Somehow he soothes my aching heart. Which of course is precisely why I fell in love with him. I think he does do it on purpose. He's got to lighten the mood somehow. He's the comic relief after all. And there's no sense in dwelling on something that's sad and painful that you can't have. And you might as well, move on and do something about it. Which will come later in this route. The weather is beautiful, the sky blue. A pleasant breeze waves in and out of the open window. Today was a special day. Impey and I were welcoming friends who had come to visit, compatriots we hadn't seen in a long time, too long in fact.
おお、カルディアにインピー、二人とも久しいな。シシーも元気そうで何よりだ。よしよし、そうじゃれつくでない。
Welcome back, Deli and Van Helsing. It must have been a long trip.
そちらもその様子では元気でやっていたようだな。
Yes, there's no need for your shotgun.
インピーと二人ということで何かと心配だったが安心したぞ。
第一声がそれこっちもお前が変わらなすぎて大層安心しましたよ。
Meanwhile, Cece must have been very happy to see Deli. He can't stop licking the little king's face. A year ago, Cece was the only member of the gang Deli showed real affection to. I'm happy to see him opening up.
こらシシ、嬉しいのはわかるがやめんか。
And Helsing surveys the scene with typical aloofness, but he too seems a bit softer around the edges. I hear the two of you have been in Scotland.
ああ、そちらに吸血鬼の生き残りがいるという噂があった。しばらくは北で活動する予定だ。今回ロンドンへ戻ってきたのはビクトリアとの会談のためだな。
吸血鬼自治区だっけどうようまくいってるわけ
ふむ、周囲の協力のおかげで着実に話は進んでいるぞ。
After the Nautilus incident was resolved, Van Helsing was determined to atone for his past and join Delhi to protect surviving vampires all across the United Kingdom. The task proved to be a difficult one. Following the near genocide of the Vampire War, Delhi's kin went into deep hiding. As painstaking an effort rooting out the vampire survivors was, negotiating with them proved even more challenging. Even with Delhi to convince them, the hatred born from vampire kind near extinction ran deep. It was now very clear the issue of the vampire-human relations was not one that could be resolved overnight. Delhi and Van Helsing found an ally in Marquis Renfield, who lobbied for vampire freedom and promoted the autonomous zone. It would offer lands to vampires so they might finally live in peace under the auspices of Queen Victoria.
女王もノーチラスの件でテロの危険性が身に染みたようだからな。国内における不安な要素はできる限り軽減しておきたいそうだ。
多大な恨みを抱えた吸血鬼を各地に潜伏させたままにするよりはまとめた方が制御しやすい。女王の考えはそんなところだろう。
Van Helsing gives a rueful snort. Impey furrows his brows and scratches his head confused.
なんかそう聞くと女王様の思惑通りになっちゃってる感じだけど、ドラちゃんとしてはそれで OK なわけ？
ああ、世とて政治上の打算が見抜けぬほど愚かではない。だが散り散りになった一族が安住の地を得られることには変わらぬ。だから世はこの話を進めるつもりだ。利用できるものは何でも利用させてもらう。
Billy says this without a shred of self-doubt. Now I see that he's completely different than before. He fought Van Helsing, who was responsible for massacring his kin, then accepted the formal vampire hunter's decision to atone. The boy driven purely by revenge is no more. The proper king now stands before me, young though he may be. It's like you suddenly grew up, Delhi. You seem like an adult now.
何を言う。世は昔から大人ではないか。
ほう。北への旅の道中、苦くてコーヒーが飲めないと散々ダダをこねていたのはどこの誰だ？それに初めて乗る飛行船にはしゃいで落ちかけたこともあったが。
余計なことを言うな、ヘルシング。
The bemused Van Helsing has a new calm about him as well, seemingly rid of his demons. Impey and I look at each other in amazement. Neither of us had ever seen him smile like this before.
余計な心配だったかね。ま、故郷を飛び出した吸血鬼の俺が言うのもなんだけどさ。頑張ってよ、ドラちゃん。
言われるまでもない。そちらもここを追い出された後はいつでも世を頼ってくるがいい。
やだな、ドラちゃんってば。俺がここを追い出されるとか、どんな状況を想定しての言葉なわけ？
具体的に言うと、お前が彼女に愛想をつかされ。
わあ、俺は何も聞こえないですから。
You're also silly. We talk about old times for a while, since it had been forever and a day since we last met. We had been chatting for some time when Impey shrugs and says,
しかし、あの晩がすっかり丸くなっちゃってまあ。以前は誰彼構わず挨拶代わりにショットガンぶっ放してたのにさ。
誰彼構わずではない。殲滅すべき相手とお前にだけだ。
I feel the urge to murder.
なんで俺だけ特別枠？殲滅対象と同列っておかしいよね。
まあその話はどうでもいい。それよりも先月の実験は驚いたぞ。
Van Helsing ignores Impey's reaction completely, not even bothering with a proper segue. Last month, you mean the cannon launch? It was almost exactly a month ago. All of us were together that day. As the first concrete step to realizing Impey's dream, which had also become mine, we launched a capsule to the moon. From that day on, we wonder the same thing whenever we look up at the moon. Did the capsule land safely on the lunar surface?
私たちが発射の瞬間を見たのはこの屋敷に向かっている途中だったからな。あれはさすがに驚いた。月が2つに増えたかと思ったぞ。
しかし世の到着まで発射を待たなかったのはいただけんな。次の実験の時は抜け駆けなしだぞ。ちゃんと世にスイッチを押させるのだ。こうポチポチっと。
了解。ドラちゃんのために取っておくさ。
Impey laughs good-spiritedly at Deli's enthusiasm.
まあ確かに褒められるくらいの出来事ではあるけど、あそこまではほぼ検証通りっつうか。砲弾の射出自体は今まで何度もやり遂げてるからね。ただこれが友人となると実証した例はまだ一度しかなくてさ、すんごい難しいんだ。
Have you ever experimented with one? I honestly don't know if a human body could withstand being hurled into the sky with so much energy. Have Impey or his old man been able to survive a test because they were vampires?
ああ、ちなみにその1回っていうのはあの飛行船レースで使ったヘルシング砲のことね。あれのおかげで貴重なデータも取れたし、俺はこれでもバンにすっごく感謝してんの。
まあ結果的にお前たちの役に立ったのならそれはそれでいいとしよ
う。どうやら月に行くというのはただのヨタ話ではないようだな。
Of course not. The preparations are going quite well. Isn't that right, Impey?
あ
Impey?
もちの論ですよ。順調も順調。順調すぎて飯も喉を通らないぐらい順調っていうか。
Now this is suspicious. His manner and attitude were a dead giveaway, and did he just say the word well 3 times in one sentence? I exchanged glances with Van Helsing and Deli, then asked conspiratorially, Did something happen?
やだな。そんな情熱的に見つめられたら俺のハートに火がついちゃうぞ。ね、みんなから無言のプレッシャーが。
Impey is not a good liar, and with the 3 of us staring at him, he eventually heaves a deep sigh, looking resigned.
いや、実はその計画にちょっとした問題が発生してさ。
問題？
やはり技術的な部分か。
まあ確かにバンの言う通り技術面では改良すべきことは山積みなんだけどさ、今回のはそれ以前っていうか。
Impey's expression is so desperate and pain it makes me shiver. Oh no, could the problem be so fundamental he needs to completely rethink the plan?
黙っていても私たちは理解できん。おとなしく白状しろ。今のままでは協力すらできないだろう。
ああ、そうだぞインピー。お前たちには借りがある。よとて協力は惜しまぬぞ。
Van Helsing, Deli.
2人とも 力になってくれんの？
Although both of them are quick to tease and trade quips, Impey did help them escape unimaginable dangers. Deep down, I think they truly care for him.
当然であろう。何を水臭い。
一応だが仲間だからな。
It's clear from Van Helsing's stiff manner that he isn't used to admitting such things. Impey seems genuinely touched.
わかった。本当はお前らを巻き込むことなく決着つけようと思ってたんだけど、そういうことならお言葉に甘えて頼らせてもらうぜ、仲間として。
The three of us wait in suspense, wondering what the problem actually is. Impey slowly gets up from his chair and promptly falls to the ground, prostrating himself in front of us. What? Wait a minute. I know I've seen Impey pull this act somewhere before.
実は先日の大砲射出実験の結果、資金を全額使い果たしました。バン、ドラちゃん、お金を貸してくださいませ。
ずいぶん貯めるから何かと思えば、またいつぞやの時のような話を。
自称天才技師よ。お前に計画性という言葉はないのか？
仕方ないじゃん。月に行くには金がかかるんだって。
Van Helsing and Deli roll their eyes at Impey, but I know where he's coming from. I helped Impey out with the planning, so I understand why his experiments burn through money so quickly. Ship design blueprints, optical equipment, black powder, and shells for the launch. Constructing the devices needed to reach the moon will inevitably consume vast sums. Since the tiny mistake would literally cause everything to go up in flames, every aspect of the plan demands perfection. It's true, there's no way to be frugal with this.
そういう事情であれば金ぐらい貸してやってもいいが、世の小遣いで足りるかどうか。
You know, a small person saying the word allowance makes me think of very small amounts of money. Like what my kids make if they do chores.
もちろん2人から本当に現金を借りたりはしないよ。その点は気持ちだけで十分。
Didn't you just ask them for money a second ago?
ただ、ちょっと協力してほしいのが。
パトロン探しだろ。
ごめんと。
まあ一言で月に行くと言われてもな、壮大すぎる計画だ。出資したがる貴族が出てこないのも理解できる。
そうなんだよ。だけどさ、俺たちってばロンドンを守った英雄よ。ちょっとくらい協力してくれてもさ。
有事の際の英雄など平和になればそんなものだ。私が言うのだから間違いない。
ね、それは確かに。でも他の金策っていうと、サンちゃんの骨董品売り飛ばしたら。
Then he would be the one murdering you.
インピーの首も飛ぶであろうな。それもこう綺麗にヒュパッと。
ものすごく想像できる。
But this is no laughing matter. When we had financial issues before, all of us racked our brains coming up with money making schemes, but the amount of money we need for this is on another level entirely. As we pondered over the matter, the answer to our prayers arrived in the form of a voice approaching from outside.
失礼。声をかけても反応がないので、勝手ながら入らせていただきました。
I know I'm going to complain about this a lot, but look at what he says. Excuse moi. Like, Why did they have to say that? Especially since in Japanese, all he said was, excuse me. And Saint-Germain is a proper gentleman, so he would never use slang like that anyway.
とはいえ、元自分の家にこういうのは何やら変な感じですね。
I think I did hear he didn't say it completely, but still. Still. Like I can't imagine Saint-Germain saying something like that. Yeah. Another member of Lupin's gang stepped into the drawing room wearing a familiar, benign smile. It was the original master of the house, Count Saint-Germain. Ah, Saint-Germain, welcome home.
サンちゃん。
おお、元気だったか？
久しいな、伯爵。
Is the Count going to be your sponsor once again?
ええ、ただいま、皆さん。バンとドラちゃんも一緒とは。いいタイミングで帰れましたね。
Saint-Germain had departed for France following the Nautilus affair. He came back across the channel last month and has remained in London since. After resettling in the city, he's been back to visit on a few occasions. I don't understand why he just doesn't move back in. I mean, a married couple doesn't need the entire mansion to themselves. I'm sure if you got awkward, you can just divide it in half or something. Saint-Germain, you finished your business in France, right? Why not come back to live at the mansion?
魅力的なお誘いではありますが、これでも空気は読める方です。新婚生活の邪魔をする気はありませんよ。
Why would you be imperceptive, bother them? Like, just tell him what I said. Just divide it in half. We aren't actually married yet.
ほほう、まだと来たか。それはつまり？
つまり、考え直すなら今のうちということだな。
Back out while you still can.
おい、俺たちの未来にケチつけんなっつうの。
相変わらずですね。
Yeah, so you want to move back. You miss it. Especially from what I know of you and all the other routes where you actually do miss them and you just man your mansion all alone, waiting for them to eventually come back and see you once again. Let's see, which one was it? Oh, it was in Lupin's route. I think they left. And Saint-Germain was by himself all in the mansion, sipping tea with Guinevere. He told her that she should come by more often. Poor Saint-Germain, he's such a lonely man after this.
まあ、真面目な話をしますと、フランスでの用事は終わりましたが、もう少しばかり後処理が残っていまして、まだひとところには落ち着けないのですよ。
後処理とは？
お気になさらず、大したことではありませんから。
Loose ends, I think that's his Apostles of Idea missions that was never mentioned in Impey's route. And Helsing seems to have more to say, but Saint-Germain's impenetrable smile quiets him. The Count then turns to Impey.
それよりインピー、先日頼まれていたことですが、社交界を当たってきましたよ。
おう、さすがサンちゃん。今ちょうどその話をしてたとこ。
出資額が出資額なので、なかなか難航はしましたが、ようやく月へ行く計画に興味を抱いてくれたパトロンが現れまして。
え、それマジ？
Impey, this is wonderful. The last thing I expected was good news to arrive just as we were fretting. I'm so happy for Impey that I can't help but take his hand in mine. The Saint-Germain cautions us.
ただ、水を差す気はありませんが、喜ぶのはまだ早いかと。実は、 出資には条件があると先方から要望がありまして。
つまり条件をクリアせねば出資はできぬということか。
ええ。なのでまずは直接会ってお話をしていただけますか？
任せといて。行く行く、どこにでも行っちゃうよ。
一応忠告しておきますが、気難しい方ですのでくれぐれも粗相がないように。
I'm pretty sure it's the queen, right?
分かってる分かってる。こう見えて礼儀作法とか大得意だし。本日はお招きに預かり光栄の至り、天才イケメン技師インピーです。
Even though he tried, it still doesn't sound as formal as Saint-Germain.
張り切っているやつを見ると不安になるのはなぜであろうな。
カルディア、お前がストッパーだ。奴の手綱をきちんと握っておけ。
I know, I'll do my best. Impey always seems to pull magic from a bottle when it really matters, but things will probably work out, I hope. Forever to achieve our dream, we can't let anything stop us here. I ball my hands into a fist, having found new determination. Higher than the greatest airship flies, past the skies to the space that lies beyond and into the pale shining moon. I still can't believe a member of the aristocracy has any interest in our dream. I'm half hopeful, half anxious. I know Impey feels the same, but I never could have imagined the place we would be ushered to meet this mysterious noble. So yeah, that's where we're going to stop here because it's been an hour. This is where I stopped last time, and I don't know how long it's going to go after this. So, and my goal was 1 hour per video. That way I can get it edited and out tonight. It's only midnight. So plenty of time. Because I need to publish something since I couldn't publish anything because of the stupid fan. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below and or subscribe. And unfortunately it's going to be a couple more days before we move on in this one, but we're going to have Cupid Parasite next because I really want to read the ending to Ryuki's Root. I've been tempted to read that anyway, even though I know I needed to get a Code Realized video out. So I got one out. It's kind of slow going right now, but it'll get better. But yeah, so look forward to Ryuki's Root tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully they don't go too long. Actually, tomorrow I have D&D possibly, so it might be Thursday, but hopefully tomorrow. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.